Arabia, the Arab Emirates, Chile, and here. Okay? So I'll try to find something that relates to each of those points. Is there anything in particular that you want me to start with, any of those topics?
Women's rights.
Women's rights?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go, women's rights. When I was a kid, I grew up in a small rural farming community. Okay? And I don't know if any of you really know this, but back in 1972 in the United States, there was a federal law passed called Title IX. And Title IX was a law that said in public schools, for every boys' sport you have in school, you have to have a girls' sport. There has to begin being some equality in athletics so that girls also have opportunities for athletics. My school, and I graduated high school in 1980, chose to ignore that for 8 years, and even after I had graduated. But in that school, what would happen, if you were a girl and you wanted to be athletic in any way, you could be a cheerleader. That was it. Then we did finally get a chance to play volleyball. Or you could run track or cross country, something like that. But to play volleyball, if we wanted to practice, we had to practice from 5 to 7 in the morning. We were not allowed to have the gym after school because the boys had it. And the school would not buy us uniforms. We had to fundraise and do different activities to buy our own uniforms, you know, volleyballs, all that kind of stuff. And that's just kind of the way it was, you know, because girls, sports, athletics, anything like that, just wasn't really thought of, wasn't really heard of, wasn't really talked about. Now, I shared with Ms. Rickert earlier today, there's another teacher on staff who is younger than me, so this was even more recent. She ran her first marathon at the age of 14 because when she was a kid, she was told that because she was a girl, girls shouldn't run more than a mile if they wanted to do races or anything like that. So, but like I say, I told Ms. Rickert about that, and she can get the details. She has a great story about it. So, I guess my point with that is women's rights. It's not something that is relatively new or anything like that. It's been a battle for many, many years. Once I finished high school, went on to university, I then had a campus job. So I highly recommend campus jobs when you go to universities. They're great. And I worked in the Office of Student Activities. And there was a man there who worked, and I can't remember what his title was, but he worked in the same. There were about 4 or 5 different people, adults, who had jobs, you know, with the university there. This person, however, would say things to me like if I didn't work late or work beyond the hours I was supposed to, that he would make sure I got fired. Or if I was with my friends out and about on the weekend or something like that, he would come find me and tell me that I didn't finish my work or that I didn't do it properly and I had to go back and complete my work, otherwise I would get fired. And this kind of went on for a while, and I came from a small country school. I didn't really understand what was happening. It wasn't until later that I realized, oh, I'm being sexually harassed in the workplace, and I didn't even know it. Turns out then, that summer I went away, came back. When I came back, I'd come to find out that then this was a